right here is the BMW i7. It's a fully electric premium vehicle from BMW, and in today's video I'm gonna be reviewing it in depth. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video. Starting off with the front end of the BMW i7, you have this massive kidney grille, which looks kind of ugly if I'm being honest. It looks like a pig. Alright, so down here on the sides we have active arrow for the rims or tires, and up here we have this beautiful crystal LED lights which look absolutely amazing at night especially. And down here we have the dual LED projector headlights which look really good also. So around this grill here, at night it glows up, and I'll pop up a picture of what it looks like at night. And we get this massive BMW logo which is really big. And down here we get our one of the 4 cameras or 5 cameras I believe for the 360 camera. And then we get like something to wash the camera. And down here we have a radar, cruise control, and down here is like ventilation for the aircon system. And that's basically it for the front end. We have this massive hood also, which can't be opened because the electric motors and all are down there. So it's so many electricals this car has. So that's it for the front end. Now let's move on to the side. Starting off the side, we have the conjoining arrow from the front to cool down these massive brakes, which are actually the size of a Myvi's tire. So that's just insane. And it's wrapped around these tires which are from Bridgestone. They're really good, they're super quiet, and they are made for EVs. And inside that we have this beautiful M Sport rims which with a tiny little BMW logo in the middle, which looks a little bit off, but I love these rims. Unfortunately just club on it, that's sad. Alright, moving on to the side of it, we have this M badge, meaning this is the M60i. And then we get a side mirror, it signals, and then we have a 360 camera. So for the sides we have blacked out elements, and this color is called Black Sapphire I believe, which is really nice. And coming all to the bottom, we have so many sensors on the side skirts which are pretty nice. And then on the side here we have our door handles, which are actually flush, because if you press this button here it will automatically open for you, which is really nice of a feature. But there is a problem with it, which I'll mention when you go to the back and interior part. So at the back we still have the same thing. Then we get these nice glass here, and for the back there is sunshades for a very cool feature which this car has, if I'm being honest. We have the same tires at the back, and I think that's basically it for the side of this car. Now let's move on to the back of the car. Starting off the back, we have these beautiful LED lights here, which I believe are sequential turn signals, but I'm not sure. I have to confirm with that again. And then we have our xDrive 60 badge, meaning this is the M60i, so this is the M Sport package. And then going to the bottom here, we have this chrome elements with this big diffuser, which I really like. But something I do not like is this big slope, this is flat and then it just comes out so much here, which I really do not like. And then anyways, the back cameras also wash themselves, and that's a big BMW logo for the back, and you get one of your reverse camera. So this is the i7 badging. It's blue in color, so as the logos, to identify that's an electric car. And overall, coming towards the back, I think this is the worst angle of this car. The front is better. I know I said the front was ugly, but I personally think the front is better. Alright, so now let's check out the trunk of this car, or boot if you're British. So it's electrically operated, which is really nice, especially for this price point. It's really expensive, so you expect everything. So the boot capacity is 500 liters, which is pretty average for a sedan, which is actually quite small considering the size of this. This is actually 5.4 meters in length, and the width is almost 6 feet, which is just crazy. It's bigger than any other sedan I've ever seen, and it's probably also the worst looking one. So pretty big. You can fold down the seats, I believe. Oh wait, no, you can't fold down the seats. This is an electric car. I believe you can't fold down. So you can lock the height if you want it. You can set whichever height you want, and you can close it electrically. You have a sign in there for traffic sign in case you break down. So overall in the interior, the first thing I'm gonna do before I start reviewing this lovely interior, I'm gonna be closing this door so majestically. It's just so nice that the fact you don't have to reach out and close the door by yourself, which is pretty expected for this price point. And I just really love it. So first thing we're gonna start off is this, the seat adjustment. For the front passenger and driver, you get full crystal seat adjustment. Just like the front headlights, it's fully crystal. So you have about 16 ways of adjustment, I think, including lumbar, seat recline, and many others. And as you can hear probably by now, I'm getting ventilated while doing this review, which is a really nice feature. So, coming here, we have ventilated and heated seats for the front passengers, which is really nice, especially here in Malaysia because it gets really hot so many times of the day, which is really nice. So, I want to start my in-depth review on the steering wheel because the steering wheel is really nice. As you can see here, you have our radar, cruise control settings all here, really nice. Then we have our infotainment here, which when we go back here, we can change whatever we want, and then we can go into this. It's just really good infotainment because this is the BMW's latest infotainment, which is found on like the new 3 Series, the 6X6. You find it on the iX and so many cars like this. Especially, you have wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, which is always nice to have, which I'm pretty expected for this price point because this is really expensive car. I'll get to that at the end of this video. So as I mentioned, this car is really fast. I don't think I mentioned that, but whatever. You have a little boost pedal shifter back here, so it's like, I think it adds about like 15 to 20 horsepower to the actual amount of power you get when accelerating, which is really nice. And then you get auto headlights, which is very good. It has automatic cornering headlights. Basically, it's just the best it could ever be. So, this sound system in this car is just really good too. It's a Bose and Wilkins, I think 12 or 24 speaker sound system or something like that. I'm not really sure. But it's just really good. And I think I will put on a test video after this. So, here you go. So, as I mentioned, the sound system is just really good. You guys heard a clip of it. It's just so good. But then, actually, the sound system is actually better in the back because this is more of a passenger car, as I mentioned earlier. So, coming down here, we have my modes, which there are a bunch of modes to choose from. Then we have our infotainment control for the front passenger. We have a volume knob, which for this Bose and Wilkins speaker, if I didn't mention. Then we got our navigation, telephone, media, home button, back button, and our iDrive system control wheel made out of crystal, which is just so nice. Then this is our start-stop button, which is also made out of crystal. Then we have our driver selector, drive mode selector. Yeah, basically that. Then we have our electronic parking brake, which is also piano black, which I don't really like. Then we have our auto hold, which is pretty good feature. Then here we have this wood trim, and it's also up here, which is just really nice. Then we have our M decal there for this because this is a M60i M Sport version. So then when you open this, we have our cards in here. You can put anything you want in there. Here also cup holders too. So, but I'm not sure whether they are heated or ventilated. So for the front passengers in this car, we have 2 memory functions, which is really good, especially for the front passengers. At the back, we also got 2 memory functions, which because this car has a real special party trick up its sleeve. I'll get to the back to show you that. So, continuing on, as I mentioned, these are for cup holders. And check out this glove box. It's just really nice. It's super deep. And you can pick which side you want open. And I believe so that heating comes through the... Alright, and the glove box is so nice too. So, to open the glove box, you have to press this button here. And it's so damped and lovely. It's just so beautiful. But it's actually pretty small, if I'm being honest, for a car this size. But I'll let it slide. Damping it so close. And then we have this beautiful, fully crystal, crystal cut, I believe. I believe it's crystal cut. So it's filled with ambient lighting. And if I'm being honest, the front has more ambient lighting than the back. Alright, so now let's look in front of us. So in front of me, right here, is a digital driving display which shows our percentage of battery, our parking brake, all the warnings we have, amount of range we can travel, the degrees outside right now, the total kilometers, the road trip one, and then we have the mileage, time right now, and many other features which it'll show when the car's on. So right here are climate control functions. So you can turn it on, you can change everything. Really nice, but I'm gonna turn it off because it's gonna make the audio sound bad. So as I mentioned, it got heated and ventilated, great infotainment, music, navigation, and it's just really good with Android Auto especially. So down here, this is our aircon vent controls. So I really love the fact that you don't have to move it around with your hands on the display here, but this is still not as good as just having like a normal thing. But these here are your aircon vents, and these are the things to change position, but still not as good. Then you get your hazards there, your rear defrost, your max defrost, and then I'm pretty sure these are for like the triple zones climate control or something like that. And overall, this car is just really nice at the front, but where it does the best is at the back. Starting off at the back, we have automatic window down and window up. It goes down fully, which is just like really nice. This is something only some cars have because this door is like just so wide. So is the window, but this is really impressive, BMW. Thank you for doing that. It's really nice. Then over to the side here, we have aircon vents, which are really helpful because the ones down there in the center armrest, they aren't so good, if I'm being honest. But they are all the same thing. So I really wish you would have mounted some aircon vents up here because these are just a little bit too far away from the average person's head, okay? So we have heated and ventilated seats back here with massaging, which for some people it's nice, but I think massaging is not really the best thing in my world, but it's pretty nice, okay? It's a gimmick to have. And then there are seat positions. So we can basically move this anywhere. We can move the front base front, back, and then the lumbar support, we can move it back. Then we can move this like that. We could recline and then recline even more. We can change the back top to like bring it down for shorter people or up for higher people. And we also can make the headrest go up and down, which also we have this very soft pillow. I'm pretty sure this is aftermarket, but I really do not like this. So whenever I sit here, I just take it off because I'm shorter. I'm very short actually, so I do not like it. It's not very good for short people. So we can bring the armrest down here, which includes with a wireless charger, and if you press this button, I believe secret cup holders, which I believe are ventilated. And why did the climate controllers turn on? I have no idea, but we're just gonna stick with it. All right. So you can push it back in, and here we press this button, which opens up this glove box with the USB buttons USB ports for the back. So this car, it could be used as a 5-seater, but this car is really meant to be a 4-seater, and this car actually could be a 3-seater very well with a feature I want to show you guys so much right now. You wait around and I'll get that to that. So the main reason why I say this couldn't really be used comfortably as a 5-seater is because of this. This is for the electric battery and the all-wheel drive system in this car, which I have to mention. The all-wheel drive system in this car is really nice. It's super comfy, and this car rides on air suspension, which could raise up and lower down according to your needs. So going over speed bumps, really helpful. And Malaysian roads, we all know Malaysian roads aren't that good at all. But this is really bad for 3 people. So this is how you open the door on all 4 sides of the car. You just press this button in, and it'll automatically open for you. You can also manually open if you're not trustworthy of the door, but it has sensors to detect whether it hit the object near it or not. So let's hop on to the party trick inside. Alright, so up here before I get to the party trick, up here we have really bright LED lights for the back reading lights. And if you actually check around, you can actually control the temperature of the lights and everything. So it is touch sensitive and it's really annoying, as I just showed. So if you actually come here, you can actually change in the light. You can change the ambient light in front and in the back. And also this has a big panoramic sunroof, which I'll just show in a while. So for the reading lights, we can turn it on like this. So it turns on. Brightness, we can control really bright or really dark, really bright. Then we can control the warmness, very yellow or very white. We want it. I'll just put it in the middle because that's the best for me. Alright, so let me just turn it off. And now let's get to the real fun where this begins. Alright, so I don't know whether I want to show off the cool theater mode. I think I'm gonna show that off first. So we click my modes and then we go into theater. Come on and see this. You see that thing? Theater? Yeah, we click that. And now my seat is starting to recline. The theater screen comes down. And this is gonna be one of the most epic screen times ever in a car. So this right here is a 31-inch 8K resolution display, which is just absolutely crazy for a car. And we have the remote for it here. I'm pretty sure this is for a Xiaomi TV connected to this, but still, it's really cool. And another thing for this is coming up in the next clip right now. Alright, so now this is my favorite part of the entire thing. We can go into the seat button here, if you guys can see. You click seats, and you see this bed mode? I am.
Shut up.
Show me.
Open it.
Alright, so now we're done. And let me just get a little bit of massage while watching my 31-inch 8K resolution display. 8K. And I'm in bed mode. Putting my arms on this armrest. And let me just put my phone charger right there. This will probably be the best place to be for anybody in this car. So as you can see, the front seat really goes down there. And if you need, this seat can be adjusted more and recline.